Sure.
Yes. So yeah. So
So
Subu,
thank
please,
you.
use your time. Yes.
Thank you. And actually, it's good afternoon here. It's about 1:30 p.m. from India. It's been raining really, really heavy. We have some floods, but it is better than the hot summer sometimes, so this is good. Yeah. All right.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to share my screen. Just one
Yes.
moment. So first of all, just want to highlight that we are pretty excited with the first experiences that has been there. Okay, we
Yeah.
have not started the onboarding mainly because the payment gateway we need to settle that. Unfortunately, we couldn't fix a meeting with the Vietnam team this week. But
Yes.
early next week we will meet and we'll fix the gateway. But some of the things I thought we will share also to give you a quick overview of the Indian situation here. I think all of you know the world is looking at India as the fastest economy now, and I think we are sitting on a great opportunity in this country. Okay.
Yes.
So quick overview about what we do. I think that would be relevant to say why we are into INMERGERS. Okay, it's so relevant to what we are doing. So because my background is I've been helping foreign companies as a managing director of 4 European companies in my 30 years of work experience. Okay, and we are primarily into uh, now our brand name Ceomitra in Indian language, it means a friend to a CEO. Yeah, just 1 minute, please. It means a friend to a CEO. And 1 minute, please. Sorry. Okay, can you hear me, guys? Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes.
So it means a friend to a CEO. So what we do is our focus is SMEs and startups, and we offer a complete range of services based on my experience, and our focus is on a lot of, capital equipment manufacturing kind of companies. We don't do for, let's say, a finance company or something. So it starts with doing the marketing and accounting and the HR process and payroll. Here I have a complete team. I have software. We work on SAP B1 and we offer outsourced services to our clients. Okay. Plus, we have a partnership with Antel International, which is a global executive search firm, and we have 8 consultants who do recruitment on a very focused kind of manner. And of course, we now have a lot of associations where we do India entry, merger and acquisition, startup funding, and pitch deck. We are currently almost on the verge of closing funding for a company which wanted $6 million US, and almost the first round of funding is getting closed. We have done the startup pitch deck and valuation. The name of the company is Zapsol. And for India entry, we are actually actively talking to Japan 2 projects right now with our Japanese BNI partners. Yeah. That's the team. Want to introduce you because you guys will interact with them at some point in time. Rachna and Neha. Rachna heads the marketing division in our company, and Neha assists her. And Sunidhi is an intern. So I think I will not talk about this. I added this slide to focus on the fact that, this is a very new concept, and the blockchain, we have something similar, but not as extensive as what INMERGERS is offering in India. So, and it's very relevant right now because if you look at it, there are a lot of activity happening with investments from abroad coming into India. Of course, there are large scale investments, and I'm not in that space where, there are, people like Flipkart and, a lot of big companies are there in that space, but we are not able to be there. We are more on the smaller SME and this space, but yet even that is very interesting if you look at it. A lot of merger and acquisition deals happening. This country is the maximum number of unicorns the last 12 months. Okay. That's the India unicorn search. So you'll see the investments happening in small company turning to unicorns. Okay. And it was very slow in 2015, but you can see after the pandemic, this has become like a rage here, and an offshoot of this is that there are going to be a lot of small companies requiring investments and, going into growing on a big tech now. So I see this entire INMERGERS as an opportunity. And I'm going to, of course, talk about a little bit of challenges that I had in the first few discussions. So we will come to that. But the thing is that a traditional M&A is very time consuming, and that is very true that this what Vietnam team Tao and team has thought about. It's a great opportunity to bring that down to a more let's say digitized kind of solution, and also you're not dependent on one single buyer. A seller has got multiple options, and that's what I like about the platform. Okay, and that's what we are trying to pitch in. And also earlier, most of the, let's say, clients or chartered accountants and company secretaries had options only to a certain radius or a kilometer within India. But now they can look at investors outside of India too, which I think makes it more interesting. Okay. There are competition. We are not without competition, obviously. Okay. India is a market of software and digital technology. So obviously there is a company called Merger Market and Intralinks. But what we have realized is, I don't want to go into detail, but we are definitely 2 steps ahead of them, and we have more to offer than what these companies are offering. I'll share the links of these companies so that you can look at it perhaps in a little bit more detail how, so you can compare and see some. There are some features which seem to be good, but we have really good ones. Okay. uh, Now, if you look at it, how are we selling INMERGERS to people here? What are we talking? How are we doing it? Okay. So first we are saying that, you can just upload your profile. And initially, I'm only encouraging free profile upload, because when I tell them pay money, it is not, because the problem today is there are no investors seen there which are from India. See, normally, people when they start, they want to look at investors which are local. Where can I get money? That is why he's coming here. But that's not visible right now. So I'll tell you how I'm going to go to the market also. But right now, we are looking at, we are saying that, look, as a startup, you can connect to investors, and we are positioning it that within 3 months, you'll have at least 100 investors over there. And that is my promise to these startups. Okay. The next one is, we say that, you can choose, you can get expertise from a specific industry investor. I mean, for example, I have somebody now who wants to invest money into specialty segment. Now, how can a company in specialty segments come to know where this particular person is in this whole universe? And that's where I think this helps. They can go and search and find out, as in the long run. I see in 1-2 years, this can be very powerful, because if I'm somebody in food industry, I can actually come and say, I want to find a food industry investor who can also be a mentor to us, who can also bring additional value other than money. Normally, I always recommend that, investors have to be somebody who bring more value other than money. Otherwise, they are more nuisance than actually value addition. Okay. So that's something that I'm selling. The other point is globally. You're not only looking at India as for investors. You can look at Singapore, for example, or even Vietnam or wherever. And as we grow, I think as a group, this is going to be really interesting for us. In 2-3 years, I can imagine this becomes a very powerful platform as we all start onboarding investors onto that. And of course, finally, no middleman blockchain. This is also interesting, because then every time they know how much they are paying, at least. Not that, somebody is taking away a little bit money every time there is a challenge. Okay. So this is my roadmap that I have created with my team. Okay. The first step, between July and August, we want to onboard 100 investors, and my team is working on that, because if there are investors, then it is easier to ask the other guys to come and say, hey, yeah, I can see somebody there. So, but simultaneously, we are also going to start talking to startups and say, get on board. Okay. And we will tell them you can even do it free. But if you do it, if you pay money, subscribe, you're going to get better results. So that is what we are going to talk about. But the real traction will come after August, I presume. So that is September, October, November, 3 months. And there we want to do at least 100 startups. Okay. And then we want to have, and of course this will continue, so this 100 will become 200 and so on in both investors, and this effort will continue. But this is the 2 milestones I think is very important. But in the meanwhile, we also want to start talking after the August investor thing. We want to start talking to franchise partners. Okay. And we will identify them and we'll onboard them from September to March. Okay. At least 15 franchise partners. My idea is to put them territory wise and not to have too many in the same space, and give them some space initially to build and make money, and then build 75 channel partners. Now, I'm not calling them brokers, because in India, when I say broker, now it sounds like a low profile let's say word. Okay, they think it is a low profile word and they don't like it, so we're going to call them channel partners. Okay, so 75 channel partners is what we are planning to build. And I think through this journey we will have more clarity on our financial model, and I would of course request Thao to be open to look at how we can see, if we want to grow, we have to have a winning proposition for these two people, franchise partners and channel partners. Otherwise, we will not grow. So they have to see a clear earning model very quick and fast. Otherwise, they will not put efforts. And once they see money into their account, then they'll start putting a lot of efforts. Right. And so we will have more clarity, and I would like to sit down with the team and also along as we go along every month, have some feedback. Now, this is a go-to-market strategy. Our target specifically are chartered accountants and company secretaries and financial controllers of companies. Okay, I have a strong LinkedIn profile where I have 28,000 connections. Now, I believe that, not only for India, but also for some of your countries, I could generate, because there will be some amount of fill-up, which I will share with all of you, of course. And our focus is to target on these two segments, and also legal professions, because a lot of advocates are working in the agreement space. Okay, so they have created the first agreements for company. Then we are talking about HNIs and investors directly. So fortunately for us, we have connect to a lot of investors, because there are so many formats where they do something like getting all startups together, and investor are also available, and the startups bid there. So it is easy for us to identify these investors. So we're going to target them and try to start getting them on board. And of course, business consultants, because business consultants are going to go and coach them and say, hey, you need to grow and so on. And of course, grow means more money. So they will, and we're going to be putting some ads and some connects and on LinkedIn, Facebook, Insta, and Telegram. We are already created an INMERGERS page there for us, and we'll also have the INMERGERS Vietnam page also tagged in. So we are working on that. I'm just giving an example here. For example, here I'm an advisor to a group called Dawn and Dusk. Okay, and this is the group which is helping me do the pitch deck and the merger and acquisition support, and also the valuation. Okay, they are very, very experienced. As you can see, they're all coming from Ernst & Young. They are from ex-INSEAD. They're very, very experienced guys, having worked in large companies. Also, their alumni are very, very strong. So they have the possibility to help in actually, generating funds for startups. And that is how my first project of the $6 million US is happening through them. And our earning for both of us put together is somewhere around 3% of the whole thing. When we do it, of course, this is not through INMERGERS now. This is what we have done outside of INMERGERS, but we'll start routing it through INMERGERS now as we go along. These are the kind of flyers that we create for projects when they come to us. So we say we create a small summary and create that. So this is actually for branding INMERGERS and our company. Okay. So we actually try to say, look, here is a chance that, it's a blockchain and you can use it and you can go and do it. So this is what we will do for all the this one. Yeah, so that's the presentation I had today. Okay, so this is we are still at an early stage. I mean, any inputs would be useful. One point that I had Thao, for you is right now, if you look at it, the money from subscriptions is not going to the franchise and channel partners, right? And in my opinion, this should happen more right now, and later on. See, our financial model is, if a merger and acquisition happens, or if some funding happens, then they are getting good money. Okay, but this will happen after maybe 6 months or 1 year or even more. Some of them even more. See, they should not lose interest. So my suggestion would be, from our subscription, initially we can always say that this will change over a period of time. but some money will be there. So they are prompted to get more people paid subscriptions, otherwise it will always be the 3-month free subscription and they'll fall off again, they will come back and so on. So I'm saying that we should look at something where initially itself we can show a certain revenue coming out of the subscription also. So that's my this. Yeah, I'm done. Thank you so much, guys, for hearing me out. Yeah.